It's amazing. And we're here for one game.
Then back to Cabo?
Yeah. Cabo in Utah. That's the Deep Park City. And where have you been on vacation? Like, why does the media guys get vacation? I don't get that. Like, are you our beat writer or not?
Share your news.
I'm waiting on a baby, so my wife is here.
What are you doing? I mean, no offense, but,
We want to be in Memphis.
huh?
We want to be in Memphis.
Oh, okay, that's a better answer, really. Congratulations, but you still have to work now more. All right, let's get to the real business, but that is cool. That's really cool. Well, thank you.
What's the real business? Anything changed?
No, well, we need to win. That's for real. So.
What's been the most impressive thing about Luka that you've seen so far in his career?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Honestly, it's everything. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon because I said it before the draft. I thought he was the best player in the draft coming out. I was very high on him. You know, he was my man crush, I guess. You have one every draft. But I guess he's more athletic. I don't even know if that's what it is. He's more shifty. I mean, he's amazing with the ball. You know, the crossovers. And I saw that in Europe, but I didn't know if he could do it in this league, and he clearly is doing it. So, and I think he's shooting the ball a lot better than everyone in the draft had him. They thought he was a good shooter, but that was the area that he needed to work on, and clearly he just wasn't shooting. You know, because he's a great shooter.
Do you have a favorite Dirk memory?
No, yeah, I do, but it was more the conversation that I could never repeat. But it was him and Kevin Garnett got into it, and it was absolutely hilarious. Because Kevin, you know, the F word is noun, verb, adjective with him, and Dirk started, I think, swearing, but it was in German, and they were going back and forth, and I thought it was just absolutely hilarious. They both meant it. But I don't know if either one knew what either one was saying, but it was pretty cool. It was funny because they're two really good guys, but both play the way they play.
With KG's competitive spirit is what it is, and so outwardly obvious. But when you see something like that from Dirk, Dirk's a little more.
Yeah, but
is that why that's special?
Yeah, he's a quiet assassin though. Like Dirk, you know, he plays that role, and you know that, but he's trying to hurt you. He's trying to kill you out there. You know, he killed you softly, and Kevin killed you quiet, loudly. But they both, at the end of the day, you were dead. You know what I mean? And so they both were phenomenal. Just so different, but both so great. You know, and but Dirk changed the game more than any big in our time because you know, every big wants to shoot threes now. You know, and that's due to Dirk.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, it's only, how many years I coached Kevin? 4 or 5, so we can narrow it down. You know, but I don't know. Yeah.
You talked about sort of like the playoff push here being good for the young guys, no matter what happens. What exactly?
No, only one thing. There's only one. I don't even want our guys thinking no matter what happens.
Okay.
You know, that leads you to bad stuff. So.
What is it that you want them to get out of it?
Why
is this?
Learning how to play, like learning the importance of possession, learning how to be a pro, learning how to prepare for a single game. You know, and Ryan, you know this. We've done it even when you were here with our young guys. We would ask, and I do it all the time. I ask, what did you do today on a game day? If I asked Ryan, who was a vet at the time, he said, well, I got up at 8 o'clock, I brushed my teeth, you know, all the way to game time. You ask a rookie, I went to the mall, was walking around, and then you always ask them, well, how could you ever be consistent if your daily game day changes? And so I think the playoffs forces that quicker. It forces you to be better quicker, you know, and I think that's important.
Are you guys learning that quicker now?
Yeah, I think they're learning. You know, last night was a great example. You know, you could see Denver was not joking around last night, and we wasn't either, but we wasn't ready, you know, and our young guys struggled last night. So it's a great example for them. But I'm going to stop because I'm resisting talking about the young guy stuff because I just, you know, I'm not going to allow our guys to use that as an excuse. You hear it all over the place, like, you know, guys are young. Well, you know, I asked Shem a great question last night. I said, okay, you hear this young talk about you're young. Like last year in college, did anyone say you were too young to win? No, like, so now they get to the pros, now they're too young. No, I'm not gonna use that, we're not gonna allow our guys to talk about it much or use it. So, if it happens because of that, it happens, but it's not gonna be because they're thinking about, I want them to think about winning and learning how to win.
Doc, I was wondering, what is the most difficult thing for an organization to transition from like a big three that you guys had to retooling for flexibility in the future and yet remaining competitive? Like, how hard is that to do?
It's hard to do. Fortunately, because of that big three, we were able to get enough out of that, to pretty much stay competitive. And because of those guys, we were able to get things, you think about that, the Blade trade, I don't think everything was ever added up. If you ever add up what that all brought us, from, I think, 4 draft picks to Shea, to Zub, to Sham. I mean, when you just think about what that did now, and then it gave us flexibility at the same time. CP, we end up with Trez, and flexibility. So losing him hurts you. It really does, because it ends the immediate dream. But then it starts a new dream, and we're lucky enough that we were able to get stuff for him.
And with all the low expectations again that some people had of this team entering the season, and the group you had, and then to surprise people and then change it all, what would it mean to you personally to make the playoffs with this group?
I don't know. I don't ever get into my personal stuff, because I don't know what I have. I don't ever think of it in that line. I just think it would be awesome. It'd be a hell of an achievement, especially now. We're starting 3 guys under 21, and just getting Lou in and Gal and like the veteran group, So I don't know what it would mean, but it would be really cool. So.
Doc, were you happy with the Green Book win?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I had a good night. Green Book, Pete Farrell, I've known him for 20 years. We talked, I met him somewhere last night, and I got to hold Oscars in my hand. It was really cool. And then Spike, too. You think about, I was thinking about basketball today and championships, and the Oscars are similar. Can you imagine if the Oscars was just a whole ceremony and there was only one winner the whole night? But that's what the NBA finals are, in some ways, it's the team. But I was thinking about, it's the same thing, though, like Spike, 30 years he's been in this business? Pete, 30, 35 years, and this is their first Oscar. Think about how long they just keep making stuff, not well, doing well, and they just stay on it. And, it's funny, I was going to tell my players that, like, that's if you want to be the best one day, sometimes you got to go through that, a 30-year journey to get it. It's unbelievable. You can make the case that maybe Spike probably should have had 1 or 2 other ones, but I'm not going to go there. But having said that, it was a great night. It was really cool, and it was great to see them, that whole team, so happy.
Like, personnel's changed so much with your team, the Mavericks, since the last couple of
Yeah,
years.
it's funny.
Do you rely on anything?
No, you do, because we all run certain stuff, but I watched Dallas' last 2 games, and I was like, that's not what they ran last time, and then I heard Rick talk about, like, he's just kind of figuring out there, but they still, you are a nature, a creature of habit, so they still run framework stuff,
Had a lot of trouble in the 3rd quarter this season. Do you think that that's like more of a matchup thing or a mentality thing?
I don't know the answer, honestly. If I did, hopefully I could have changed it, but I think we're, over the year, like, it's a crazy stat. I think we're like a minus 71 or whatever, or whatever it is, 700 and something, but in the 4th we're like a plus 110. So I guess I'll keep it. Like, if you're gonna have a great quarter, let it be the 4th. But it's a hard explanation. We've tried a lot of different things, like just stupid things, no more phone. I hate rules like that, because I thought they were so silly when I was a player. And then I did it. I said, oh my God, it's become my dad. But, like, we've tried different things, get out early, do different shooting, but so far we've not been very successful. All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.